Okay, so I did a few edits since that last picture I sent you. So the one I sent you is over here, and it's just a really simple, like no detail, molding, just because I wasn't sure kind of what direction you wanted to go and if you even liked the idea of it kind of being framed in with wood. But then I just decided to go ahead and do that a little more thoroughly. So I've just done kind of, just basic detail. I mean, this could be fluted, it really just depends. You guys may want to go and look at molding and see, what kind of style you like, or if you just want it to be kind of really simple. But the whole concept here, so we have no hearth. This is 20 inches out from here. And then, it kind of, I like to really consider how things are going to be finished off. So your shoe mold, and I didn't do, detailed, I just kind of threw it in there. But just to show how it would kind of terminate around that corner, you're going to have some kind of transition between the tile and the wood because, of course, that tile sits, differently, and you want to have that transition. So it'll kind of be something, along the lines of that. Your contractor will be able to do all that, I'm sure, and figure that out. The way I have the mantle going is that because you don't want it to terminate where this edge is just unfinished, and you don't want this edge to stick out. So say, for example, if you were to take this bottom edge of the molding and move it to here, then you're going to have this piece sticking out from the wall. So in other words, by having it terminate, it kind of turns the corner here. You're going to have this little strip of drywall showing. And I don't really know any way around that if you want it to kind of be finished off. My goal is to kind of take, what you guys have is a quite modern fireplace unit and, make it a little more traditional. So giving it this kind of framed in feeling, even though it's a corner. And you were right, everything I looked at online, it's all quite contemporary or kind of mid-century modern looking, these types of units. So it is a bit of a challenge to kind of, make it look not quite so modern, but I think this will work. So I have the mantle is at 8 inches, so that's how deep it is. So that should give plenty of space, for pictures and frames and stockings and all that kind of good stuff. That's kind of a good chunky one. I was just looking, mine is only like 5 or something, but I think your space can handle something a little bit bigger. And then it's a 4-inch molding that I used. I think that's what we talked about that you were probably going to do in the crown. So that's how, how deep it is. And what I did is I moved the, if you're going to use the marble or something similar, is I did go ahead and bring it down to the fireplace box. I was looking at, this is the San Diego County.gov, and this is some of their codes, and I think this is up to date, but it says combustible material 12-inch minimum from firebox. I might be wrong, but I'm considering that this is where the firebox starts, and so if this is all combustible material within 12 inches, the only place it's not is on the bottom. Here it's only 7, but that's with it sitting on the floor. And since this is all combustible material, I'm assuming that's fine because there's nothing combustible within 12 inches, of this. And then so I kind of framed it in here on the end too with the same. This is about 6 inches, I think, as what I've got it at right now. And then I just have just a little bit of molding here, just to kind of help frame in that mantle. And that's 12 inches from here to here. So if for some reason it can't cover, this is what it's going to look like. This is without the stone material or marble or whatever you end up using covering the actual fireplace box. So if the black part has to show, this is what it'll look like. And what I did here is I did 12 inches from here to here. And so I just, these are things I think we're still a little, confused, both of us on, does it have to be 12 inches past this? Is this considered the firebox, or is this considered where the firebox opening is? So in that case, we would have to push this whole thing out another 6 inches or so this way, and then you would have to be pushing your mantle up higher as well. So I just want, make sure, show this to your contractor, and he's probably going to be laughing at how my lack of knowledge. But I'm just not sure how all that works, codes with the fireplace, and I want to make sure that I'm considering everything. So this is kind of what it would look like with it showing, and then this is what it would look like with it out. Without it showing, obviously looks a lot nicer, cleaner if you can bring that material all the way to that edge, but that's just something he's going to have to determine for you. And then I also I did one with it just all white as well, just so you can see how that looks and feels if you decided to just keep the mantle all white. I know you had mentioned that Steve kind of wanted more wood in the space, and I think that will kind of, cozy it up a bit, make it a little more kind of that transitional or traditional feel to it. Again, so just giving you several options to kind of look at. And of course, with the, if you did decide to do these shelving units at a later date, just know that that changes the mantle because this mantle wraps around. And it's all kind of one continuous piece. So you would have to do some editing later on if you were, this would have to kind of come off, and if you were to add that later on. So that's what I've got for you. Let me know what you think. If there's anything, if you want more detail somewhere, if there's something you don't like, if you don't like the way this feels, just kind of troubleshooting based on what you guys have given me, and let me know.